90 minutes to determine the destiny of the first piece of silverware of the Saudi football season. It's the Super Cup final. Al Nassr in yellow against Al Ahly in their change strip of white. Both teams involved in feisty semi-finals. Matthias Jaisler there, the German coach of Al Ahly, saw his team absolutely demolish Al Qadisiyah by 5-1. Highest scoring match ever in the history of the Super Cup. Can they find that sort of form again against Ronaldo's team, or will it be number 7's night as he looks for that elusive first piece of domestic silverware? Been close on a number of occasions. Just looking at actually recent years, Al Nassr haven't been champions for a few seasons now. The past 6 seasons they finished 2nd, 6th, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd and 3rd. It's been a lot of nearly but not quite years. This is Nawaf Al-Bushal. A little too much on that from Bento. He made a slightly nervous start to the semi-final the other night as well before settling down.
Didn't look himself, did he? Give away an early pass, back pass. Took him a little while to settle.
That's probably the calmest that we'll see Jorge Jesus, by the way, Paul, tonight.
He was box office of the night, wasn't he? I mean, at 71 years young, the Portuguese manager certainly hasn't lost any passion for the game, and I think he's got a huge point to prove with Al Nassr this season. I think extremely, well, harshly done to Al Hilal, maybe, the way that he was relieved of his duties. Lost only 10 of his games in his tenure, but that's the expectation that there is there at Al Hilal. And I think the way that Al Nassr set up the other night, his fingerprints were all over that performance. He's a tactical genius.
Absolutely. Reset the team following the dismissal of Sadio Mane as early as the 25th minute, when certainly I think fair to say they were second favourites at that point in the game against the double winners Al Ittihad, but you wouldn't have known it. Kingsley Coman, big money addition for Al Nassr this season, and it's his second match. He only signed a week ago, last Friday, from Bayern, as Mio sends it back to goalkeeper Mendy. Flew straight here to Hong Kong, debut the other night, back in today as Kessie sends it away. First touch of the ball here for Riyad Mahrez up against Ayman Yahya. Mahrez, tricky customer, mercurial, takes his time, picks his pass. Here's Galeno, and the deflection just skims away off Ivan Toney's shoulder. Well, Al Nassr will pay due care and attention when Mahrez has the ball at his feet.
And Galeno as well. I think the two wide players for Al Ahly in midweek who are very influential. Mahrez, we can see again here, gets the ball out wide to Galeno. It's a decent block in the end from Al-Bushal. They do pose a threat. Always difficult to defend against when you've got two wide players who are more than capable and willing to cut inside. You don't know whether they're going to go outside, around the edge, try and get the cross in, or then cut inside and try and get the shot off. And Galeno and Mahrez are two players who are certainly capable of that.
Yeah, Galeno's had a great few months since he signed from Porto at the start of the year. Really impressive, and hit the ground running the other night, as did the number 17 there, Ivan Toney, with a penalty in that 5-1 win. By the way, Jorge Jesus, Paul's just pointing out to me quite rightly, Jorge Jesus is almost level with the 18-yard line in his own half.
It's incredible.
He's almost nearer the goal than he is his own technical area at the moment. He lives and breathes every moment of this game. And there'll be a free kick for the challenge on Wesley.
An interesting matchup this evening. Two teams playing a very, very similar system. Both will play with two holding midfielders. Frank Kessie out of the two, him and Mio. He'll be the ones that's allowed to reign and go forward. We saw him get his 2 goals the other night, and that's difficult to defend against. It's what you call the third man running the runner from deep, and Kessie certainly provides that option for Al Ahly.
Mention the quality of Kingsley Coman. And you've got Martinez, a pretty good player as well at the other end of the field, sending it forward. Mendy was just caught there in gathering the ball by Kingsley Coman. Martinez almost putting Coman through on goal, but Mendy did look favourite markedly to get to the ball.
It's a difficult one for goalkeepers because the pitch, as we know, we talk about the heat and the humidity. The pitch isn't great and it's heavily watered before the game, but with the heat it dries up in patches. So as a goalkeeper, with your depth perception, you're trying to read the through ball. Sometimes the ball skids through and sometimes it just checks and stops. And as we saw there with Edward Mendy, it was his ball, absolutely, but it just stopped and he had to go right to the edge of his box. He maybe wasn't as comfortable as he thought it was going to be, Edward Mendy. Always difficult on a rapidly drying pitch.
Here it is again.
Yeah, it takes a whack from Coman. Coming together, not too much in it, I don't think. We saw Sadio Mane get sent off, didn't we, for leaving his foot in on the goalkeeper.
That was a different sort of scenario, wasn't it, really? Well, good to see Edouard Mendy back up on his feet. Top goalkeeper, of course, formerly with Chelsea in the Premier League in England. Senegal's #1, played in their 3-1 win against England in June. In England as well, impressive win for Senegal.
He's an important player for Al Ahly, hence the reason he's got the captaincy this season. 12 clean sheets to his name last year. Missed a fair bit of the season through injury as well, Edward Mendy. So he would have potentially got more than the 12 clean sheets. 15 the season before and a share of the Golden Glove.
Hervé Renard, the national coach of Saudi Arabia, watching on. We've been here throughout the week. A number of the top Saudi players, of course, involved for these teams.
Well, I think you can see from his point of view as well, as we're seeing this league get stronger and stronger, we're going to see a team that haven't won the Super Cup before. The competition in the top 5-6 teams is only going to be beneficial for what we're seeing in the national team as well.
That's Coman sending it in. Ronaldo touches the ball. Probably don't need to mention his name. You'll just hear the cheer from the crowd echoing around the stadium. Little inadvertent 1-2 off the referee's back there. Al Nassr with the throw. Ayman Yahya wanting to take it a little further forward than the referee quite rightly is allowing him to. So we'll have to bring it back. A reminder, we don't have extra time in the Super Cup, so if we're level after 90 minutes, it's straight to the drama of penalty kicks. He's just been reminded, Al Nassr's head coach, that he's nowhere near his technical area once more, and he, chuckling under his breath, has briefly headed back to where he should be, I think. Talk about very useful Saudi players in these teams, domestic players. They're one of them there, the number 17, Al Khaibari, is a really strong player in midfield alongside Marcelo Brozovic. This is Wesley Martinez, who took to life in Al Nassr's defence in that opening match alongside Mohamed Simakan like a duck to water, as you'd expect for someone so vastly experienced. First touch for João Felix. Of note, João Felix, who was a star performer on his competitive debut for the club the other night. Nawaf Al-Bouchal coming into the team this evening. Here's Abdullah Al Khaibari. Ronaldo's pass cut out at the back by Al Ahly's defence, and it's back with Mohamed Simakan.
It's going to be a partnership that will serve Al Nassr well this season if they can both stay fit, Martinez and Simakan. Simakan is a young 25-year-old French central defender, had an excellent season last year, and I think with somebody like Martinez alongside him, he's only going to get better.
Yeah, still been playing at the top level. Inigo Martinez, well into his 30s now, but 46 appearances for Barcelona last season, including 11 in the Champions League. Over 400 games in La Liga over the years. Coman dispossessed. This is Matteo Dams, the Belgian under-21 international, into Ivan Toney, who was caught there by Al-Bouchal.
He wants a free kick, Ivan Toney, but it was a good tackle right underneath where we're sat here. Well-timed tackle from Al-Bouchal. Looks like Ivan Toney's getting away from him.
Got a bit of Al Ahly's number 17 on the way through. And it's a throw. And Galeno, the man to take it. We saw 1 or 2 throws from him earlier in the week. They can really hang it in the air over some distance. Ibanez to the far side, trying to pick out Madrashi. Demiral. There's time here for Martinez, who is one of those players, reads the game so well, knows where to be, anticipates where the ball's going. Demiral, Turkish international. Mendy seems fine after his collision with Koeman. Little nudge from Tony, collected by Al-Khaibari, only as far as Brozovic, who digs it forward into Koeman. Koeman wandering much more into a central position when he can, and João Felix loitering on this near side. The Al Nassr right. Physically stronger than his opponent there, João Felix, as he dinks it over. And somehow Edouard Mendy manages to get his glove on the ball and make it stick. It looked as if he was almost diving the wrong way then.
He was reading the cross. I think there was a slight deflection in front of Edouard Mendy. Difficult for a goalkeeper. This is where they want to foul. Al Ahly are looking for a foul, and maybe they have a case. João Felix does extremely well when he gets into the box. And you watch the goalkeeper, he goes to read the cross. Brilliant piece of reaction. Great goalkeeping from Edouard Mendy.
It was a really good save. Ivan Toney has just had a collision with Mohamed Simakan, which, as you can see, has left the Frenchman coming off worse of the two.
Charging for the long ball there. Simakan holding his face. We get to see closer when we see the replay. Yeah, we'll obviously take a look at this. Al Ahly players still incensed. They wanted a foul earlier on when Edouard Mendy just made that fantastic save.
The referee reaching for the yellow card, and I was going to say deep in conversation with the players, but it's more them talking to him.
Looks to have just stood his ground, Ivan Toney, doesn't he? It's going to be an interesting battle to keep an eye on that. He's a big, strong centre forward, Ivan Toney. Doesn't mind backing in and holding off his central defenders.
Should be a really good physical battle, one would think, between him and Simakan.
I think it's going to be a really good battle all over the pitch. There's no love lost between these two sides. I think we're seeing early on it's going to be a hotly contested match this evening. Verbal's been exchanged between the two players.
Yeah, Martinez just getting involved there with Tony as well. So yellow card. They're pretty keen on number 7 round here. Might be worth keeping an eye on the duel between that pair as things unfold, but Simakan back up and ready to go once more.
The thing that impressed me with Al Nassr in the week was that they were together as a unit, the team spirit that they showed. I wouldn't be surprised if one of Simakan's teammates looked after him as well. There was a real togetherness about them in the week, which I've not really seen so much of during the course of last season. I think the team spirit, the new signings integrated extremely well. And I think with the influence of the new manager, it was very important.
Jams is going to leave it for Galeno. He was one of the players who scored in the AFC Champions League Elite final when they beat Kawasaki Frontale by 2-0. Big goal that. He'll be he's written his name in the club's history book forever with that. First time they'd ever lifted the trophy, the AFC Champions League crown. Martinez, Brozovic, Al-Khaibari. Kessie nipping at his heels. He got a bit too keen and a bit too bitey in the challenge for the referee's liking there on Abdullah Al-Khaibari.
Well, you can see already Matej Jaisler, he's got his team hunted in packs. The pressing, it's very impressive the way that they press. They press high, they hunt together, and they look to win the ball back very quickly.
Lovely ball forward now, chased by Ivan Toney, who collects. Tony's got support, and it just needed a touch from Riyad Mahrez. As everybody looks across for the flag to be raised. But of course the passage of play plays out first.
Well, the assistant raised the flag right by the corner flag, so I'm presuming that he put the flag up for Riyad Mahrez being offside, not the initial run maybe from Ivan Toney. The assistant put the flag up right in the corner, but we'll get to see now. It's a ball over the top, and as you can see, Ivan Toney has just strayed marginally offside. It's a strange one for me here with Ivan Toney. It's neither a shot nor a cross. I think Riyad Mahrez was in a better position, but it would have all come to nothing anyway as he was offside.
Brozovic. What a lovely ball that is to set Wesley away. Kingsley Coman in the middle. Wesley for Al Nassr, just wide.
I think he has to do better, Wesley, in that situation. Through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Edouard Mendy's not happy with his defence, the way that it was breached. One long pass from Brozovic. We know he's got the quality, Brozovic. Such a difficult ball. Lovely through ball. And then what he does, he opens himself up. There's only one way that he can go, and Edouard Mendy, he's a very tall, imposing goalkeeper. He gets his angles right. If that's on target, the goalkeeper saves it. He opens himself up and almost telegraphs what he's going to do, Wesley. It's a great opportunity for the young Brazilian, and he should have put his side ahead.
Ibanez to Dams. And Galeno not quite keeping the ball in play. Quarter of an hour played, both teams with a sighting of goal, not much in it. Tight. Pretty much what we expected thus far.
Tactically very well organised, both of them.
Galeno sends it long. Little touch from Mahrez and spinning in the air. Brozovic. Al-Khaibari was just caught by Millo, the French midfielder.
It's getting tasty in the midfield. Referee's going to have eyes in the back of his head at this rate. Challenges are certainly flying in. Millo it was that time. And Al-Khaibari.
He's an exciting signing, Millo, from the Bundesliga in Germany. A 23-year-old French midfielder. Play with real flair, and talking of which, Ronaldo exchanging passes with Brozovic. Back out with Wesley, lovely turn from the under-20 Brazilian international. Look at him go, finally brought to an end, and the referee, who was well placed to see, says no foul from Ibanez. Not much room for Millo down there. Just jabbed out of play off the boot of Demiral.
He did well, Ibanez, the defender. He just stood his ground. There was nowhere for Wesley to go. Stood his ground and made it difficult. Couldn't find any space.
That got the crowd going from Wesley. Just giving a hint of his potential and the quality that he has in his boots there. Ibanez, oh, lets it bounce! Almost squeezed past Mendy. You've got that near post covered. It was potentially an awkward moment there for Al Ahly, as João Felix almost stole in from the tightest of angles.
Whether it was a misread from Ibanez or the lack of communication between him and his goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, João Felix nearly capitalised.
Brozovic. Al-Bouchal.
They do that so well, Al Ahly. They clear their defensive lines and they squeeze up as a unit. As a defensive unit, they get very high up the pitch and crush the space down very quickly. Immediately they cleared that ball. Their defensive line was almost on the halfway line. The long ball over the top from Bento was easily through to Edouard Mendy. Something they do extremely well. He's clear out very quickly.
Bracano chased after the ball in the middle there, still flitting around the margins of the game. Al Ahly's number 9, Coman, tracked by Galeno. This is Brozovic. Dams holds him at arm's length. Now Afal Bouchal, a smidgen too high for Ronaldo. Cleared away by Ali Madrashi. And out for a throw. Well, a foot lower.
We know what he's capable of. We know the leap that he's got. I think there's 98% of the stadium that would love to see a goal from him this evening.
Well, it would be a landmark goal as well. It would be his 100th for his current team. Koeman creating a little bit of space for himself, bringing João Felix into the game, not for long. Demiral made sure of that. Here's Ayman Yahya back into Koeman. Fancies having a dig. That had Edward Mendy stretching. Deflection there. Pushed behind for a corner.
Good save from the big Senegalese goalkeeper at first glance. Shot from distance, the pitch isn't great. We're talking bobbly, it's sticky at times. Edward Mendy gets across. Maybe a deflection actually just before Mendy.
Deflection off Mio.
Just wide of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper looked to have had it covered. Could take no chances.
Brozovic with the kick. He'll have the chance to deliver from a better looking angle, a more inviting one. Little flick up. Koeman to the back post. Ronaldo goes for the spectacular. Straight at Mendy.
Listen at that noise. You'd think he'd scored. Incredible noise inside the stadium every time the ball goes near that man. And understandably so. Absolutely worshipped in this part of the world. They love him, don't they? It's to show how much intent there was from Brozovic. Koeman puts the ball back across.
Meanwhile, Al Ahly moving forward. Galeno sending it through into Al-Brekan. Toby Hedge to the far post, beaten away by Bento. Flag goes up.
So frustrating, isn't it, when they have to? It's quite obvious. We can see clearly that Al-Brekan's offside.
Midway through the first half. Nothing in it in this Super Cup scrap in the metropolis of Hong Kong. Quite the setting to get the season started it's been over the past few days.
It's been a wonderful event, hasn't it? Very well received by the locals around here. The crowd's obviously in for Cristiano Ronaldo. We've had good attendances to watch four very, very good teams, and I think with Al Hilal not here, gives the others an opportunity. But I think with what Al Hilal did in the summer in the Club World Cup, showed the world what this league's all about. As we watch that man again with a fantastic technique, just can't test Edward Mendy. It's a wonderful technique, isn't it?
Galeno. Little combo with Mio. Into Ibanez, who looks to try and prise open the yellow-shirted defence. Ivan Toney gets a touch. Mahrez a flick. Does it come off Ayman Yahya? Well, you can tell from the reaction of Riyad Mahrez that the decision has not gone his way.
It's a brilliant curtain raiser for the season, isn't it? You said that about the games, but I think far too often do we play friendlies without too much competition and you go into a season. But whereas these games have been fiercely contested and with a trophy available at the end, I think it's a wonderful setting and a great start to a new season.
Yeah, Saudi Pro League just a few days away. Opening games Thursday and Friday. Al Ahly kicking off at home to the newly promoted side, Neon. Al Nassr away to Al Ta'aun. Simakan.
No easy games now, is there? As we saw last season, where we expected teams to win games and pick up points, they lost points in areas against teams that we didn't expect them to. There's one point with the title, Al-Ittihad and Al Hilal, nobody seemed to want to go and win the league, did they?
That's a very nicely flighted pass there from Mohamed Simakan, and now Afal Bouchal almost in. Galeno doing some good defensive work. We've seen more of that from him than he was required to do in the semi-final, where he was very much on the front foot throughout the game.
It's more of what Mateusz Jaisler is demanding from his team. He wants them to defend as a unit, and the two wide players are part of that as well. Galeno and Mahrez, they're asked to drop back in, make a solid midfield and do the defensive work as well as the offensive work.
Referee not quite happy yet, so that's why we have a delay. Chatting to Mohamed Simakan and one or two others. They've got a little yellow train going there as Ronaldo tries to run in behind Inigo Martinez. Simakan up well. Comfortable for Mendy. First meeting in the Saudi Super Cup between these two clubs, but they have got a great history. They've played each other 10 times in matches with silverware on the line. It's advantage Al Ahly as well, actually, at the moment in the overall there, with 6 wins from the 10 games. I think between the two sides so far this evening in this one. Galeno. Now Bracan nearby. This is Mio. Ibanez. Beautiful pass to Riyad Mahrez, trying to get away from Ayman Yahya. Mahrez. Bracan chasing him. Well, a move of some promise there from Jaisler's team.
He did well in the end, Ayman Yahya, to get back into position because he was caught really badly out of position. Mahrez gets in behind him. That dangerous left foot. Not quite the end product he was looking for. So often we see Riyad Mahrez with that wand of a left foot. 10 assists in the league only last season. Fantastic delivery and technique.
There's the noisy green pocket of Al Ahly fans. João Felix. And Yaya's gone well forward here on the far side there. He's notably in front of Wesley as Abdullah Al-Khaibari looks for the run made by Coman.
Numerous times Al Nassr have looked for that ball over the top because they talk about Al Ahly's high line. They're trying to expose it, but the delivery of the long ball, the timing of the runs just hasn't quite been there.
Martinez swiftly in on Mahrez, and despite the Algerians' complaints, the referee, who was close by, happy for the game to continue. Misplaced by Brozovic, collected by Kessie. Determination from Madrashi and from Ayman Yahya. Goal kick. Ali Madrashi came off the bench in the first game the other day against Al Qadisiyah and gets the nod today ahead of Mohamed Abdul Rahman, who is named among the substitutes. A free kick conceded by Wesley, who will receive a yellow card from the referee, and as you can see, no complaints there. Didn't really have an argument, did he?
It's pointless, absolute pointless yellow card in the middle of the field. He'd been turned and his man had got away from him, but there's absolutely no need to commit such a foul there.
Ayman Yahya has got a bit of a problem here as the players head for a cooling break. It's been another scorcher in Hong Kong today. It's the humidity really that makes the difference. But here, that was a really daft challenge. What a unnecessary way to receive a yellow card. Gave the referee absolutely no choice.
Silly yellow card, silly foul. Yes, Kessie got the wrong side of him. That's the incident there where Yaya may have just tweaked his ankle and he's gone down in a heap over on the far side as the players are on this near side taking their instructions and taking their fluids on board. He's been attended to by a doctor and physio as Yaya. Didn't look very comfortable.
Well, I suppose were he not to be able to continue and treatment still being received, hopefully he'll be okay, but they would no doubt bring on Sultan Al-Khanam, who would play it right back, and Al-Bushal would just move across.
They have got strength in that area. I mean, you look at the fullbacks that they've got. Yaya he's naturally more noted for a midfield player. I think George Jesus likes him because he has an attacking threat as well, playing as a fullback. But with Al-Ghanam, Al-Bushal, Yaya now playing there as well. They have got a plethora of talent in fullback areas, Al Nassr.
Well, he's back on his feet now, so hopefully no issues there. George Jesus using every second available to him to impart his thoughts.
He's brilliant to watch, isn't he? He's passion and love for the game. He doesn't waste a second. These cooling breaks, these drinks break, he uses them more like a timeout, like he would in basketball, like other sports. When teams have a timeout, he gets his players in, he gets his team in, surrounds him, he gives them his tactics. He's such a demanding coach.
First time here in Hong Kong, and a traditional welcome for those coming into the stadium. A spectacular setting. First time here in Hong Kong for the Saudi Super Cup. Not the first time abroad outside the kingdom. 3 times before this event has been held in London.
But it will be returning to Hong Kong, as we know. It's been a fantastic occasion, a great arena, very, very well supported. Another chance to showcase this wonderful league to people around the world who may not be as familiar as we are. Fortunate to watch it every week.
Almost ready to resume then on this humid evening. No goals. One spectacular overhead kick. Ivan Toney on a yellow card for a clash with Simakan. The cheering you may hear in the background is the crowd amusing themselves during the cooling break by setting up a Mexican wave around the venue.
You normally get those when there's a lull in the game, don't you? When it's a poor game, but this has been far from that. There is a cooling break, yeah, but it's been far from a poor game. I think we're seeing two sides who are looking to have a very successful season, and on the basis of what we've seen this week, they certainly will have a title challenge.
The Mexican wave just passed us. I didn't see your arms going up there, Paul. Met by Dams with the header, and then by Al-Khaibari. Al-Brikan flicking it down in towards Riyad Mahrez, who just got it caught between his feet a little bit, but was also challenged by Marcelo Brozovic, who conceded a free kick. Not too much for him to do so far in this final. A really good first season, Bento, last time out. Didn't miss a single match in the league. Now, can the Asian Champions League winners create something here? Mahrez with the ball at his feet. The delivery was not a bad one at all, kept in. Al-Brikan hoping to win a corner, but the whistle is blown anyway.
And for a foul by Demiral, who's surrounding the referee. Him and Ibanez both surrounding the referee. Once again, it was a wonderful delivery from Riyad Mahrez. He's got a brilliant left foot. We've seen the assist that he's capable of. The free kick was given against Demiral there for climbing on the back of Simakan.
The crowd doing and ahhing as they get these replays on the big screen behind the goal. 2 balls on the pitch momentarily as Mio sends it across, headed back in from Al-Brikan. Kessie going down inside the box. I think got the impression maybe going down a bit too easily. Challenge on João Felix. Free kick Al Nassr, and Al Ahly's players are left a little frustrated, and so is their head coach, as you can see. Now Al Bouchal just being reminded who the referee is.
Did that well in midweek as well, João Felix. I think he'll be a great addition to the Al Nassr side, playing in that number 10 role. Hasn't quite found a home for himself yet. He's still only 25 years old. Went through his CV in the week: Benfica, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, AC Milan. Some CV,
it's quite a resume,
but just without a home.
Yeah.
And I think in that number 10 role, playing alongside in and around Cristiano Ronaldo, we may well get to see the best of him.
Here he is now, finding Coman. Cleared by Downs. Al Bouchal. Wesley. 9 minutes to half-time, plus the additional minutes that the officials may decide to add. Brozovic. Good flick there by Coman, easily collected by Kessie. He was one of the stars of the show in the semi-final with 2 goals. Simakan brought that attack to a halt. João Felix, brilliant little ball into Kingsley Coman. Can't find a way past Ibanez. Neo prowling around as a defensive shield, but almost caught out. Coman sending it in to Ronaldo. Brozovic tries to tee it up. Plenty of white shirts back. And Al Ahly can heave a sigh of relief and venture forward with Feras Al-Brikan. Mahrez was a little ponderous. Ivan Toney. Kessie going to ground. Coman trying to link up with Brozovic. Loose and collected by Mahrez. Could spell trouble for Al Nassr this. Well, he was rather hoping for a free kick, for a shot from Simakan. Referee has given nothing. And now Ayman Yaya sends it into Cristiano Ronaldo, who returns the pass. It's still with Ayman Yaya. They're going to claim a handball there against Madrashi. They've got a penalty.
Looked like a penalty. We're sat high up here looking down from a long distance away. The Al Ahly bench below us, they're all surrounding the 4th official. There's a real melee going on. Get to see the replay here. Good tackle initially.
Well, the added controversy here is that they feel they should have had a decision at the other end of the field before the ball had reached the penalty area.
It's definitely going to be given as a penalty. Madrashi as well, in the build-up to the penalty, he was guilty of a really clinical pullback in the middle of the pitch. Referee's going to have to get a grip here, because it's not only happening on the pitch but on the touchline here. Players, officials, they're absolutely adamant, Al Ahly, that they should have had a free kick for Riyad Mahrez on the edge of the box that the referee didn't give. And from that incident, within 2-3 passes, Al Nassr are down the other end and they've got a penalty.
Well, they would certainly be asking that why the decision didn't go their way at the other end of the field.
I don't think there's any arguments that it's a penalty. I think the argument is that they wanted a free kick that would have not allowed that move to have happened. There he is, he's off again, Jorge Jesus, up and down the touchline. Referee, as you can see there, just took word in his ear. The penalty's been given.
Edouard Mendy just not so keen to head back to his goal line quite yet. Everyone with plenty to say. And still no sign of everyone clearing away from the penalty spot itself.
And you wait till you hear the noise when a certain number 7 picks up the ball to take the penalty, you would think.
Ronaldo, 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 the cry from the crowd here. still the arguments go on. And it'll be some considerable time from when the decision was made for the penalty kick being taken. Significant moment in the evening. And with expectation in the stands all around him, Cristiano Ronaldo with the chance to score a special goal. Camera phones up everywhere inside the Hong Kong stadium. Absolutely everywhere. Edouard Mendy is finally ready. He's done this so many times. Cristiano Ronaldo. This for the lead in the Saudi Super Cup final. It's Ronaldo against Mendy. A century of goals in the yellow of Al Nassr. What a time, what a place to do it. And what a roar inside the arena as he and his teammates search for Saudi silverware, the first domestic silverware during his time with the club. It is number 7 who gives them the lead against Al Ahly, his 100th goal. Al Ahly trailing by 1-0 here, late in the first half. This is why the penalty was given.
Well, was it ever in doubt? The famous stance, the famous run-up, and the usual end product, the ball in the back of the net. It's a really well-taken penalty by Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a brave penalty because he banks on the goalkeeper moving. He waits, he knows what he's going to do. The goalkeeper goes to ground. He just lifts it off the ground, down the middle of the goal. And there he is, the captain, the leader, the talisman. Puts his side 1-0 up. Wonderfully taken penalty.
Well, as if the crowd need whipping up at this moment in time.
It's what they came to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. It's walking around shortly before while the teams were warming up. It was rather like a Cristiano Ronaldo convention here. It's really quite something.
It has been all week, hasn't it? Yeah. Really something to see. Ticket sales in his museum have just doubled for tomorrow.
It's settled down again in Matthias Jaisler's technical area, but it got quite heated, didn't it, for a minute or two there?
To a man, they were off the bench, surrounding the 4th official beneath us. They were absolutely adamant that they should have had a foul from Riyad Mahrez. I thought the referee got that decision right. We've not been privy to a replay, but it didn't look like there was too much contact to Mahrez, and initially he didn't really complain, Riyad Mahrez. It was only when the ball went down the other end that the complaint started.
It's gone long from Bento. He hasn't had too much to do in this first half against a side who put 5 past the normally tight defensively Al-Kharisia.
He's playing now, George Jesus. He's just got to touch his that far out of his technical area.
Well, it's been a barren few seasons, really, for the fans of Al Nassr, relatively speaking, for a side as successful as they are. And well, you've got to use what you can, haven't you? It's improvisation.
I'm not so sure I'd be too pleased with that, the poor photographer. Didn't expect that this evening.
He nearly finished wiping the ball before the photographer realised what was going on. Galeno with the throw. João Felix tries to clear. Referee says no foul. Galeno has it. And still. Here's a chance. 1-1. Ivan Toney. Flag goes up on the far side straight away. And Al Nassr's players are unhappy because they felt that their man, João Felix, was fouled near the angle of the penalty area before this. Here, in the challenge with Enzo Mio. Ivan Toney. Close one, it'll need looking at.
It will be looked at, as we know, but for a player of Ivan Toney's experience, he's got to keep himself on side there. He should know that he's looking at the cross, the line, from the back of the line. He's gone over to ask the assistant on the far side. I think the assistant may have this right. It's going to be very, very close. But once again, a melee ensued below us. Both dugouts thought they had a case. Al Nassr thought they had a case for a penalty. Al Ahly not wanting the goal to be ruled out. It was an excellent piece of play by Galeno.
Well, yet another stoppage. Interesting to see how much additional time. 5 minutes of additional time is right on cue. The board has been raised down below us. Well, they'll be hoping that Enzo Mio is okay, their big summer signing. He's the player on the ground receiving treatment after that collision. It was more of a coming together, wasn't it, really?
And coming together with him and João Felix. That's what Al Nassr felt that they should have had a free kick in the build-up to that goal.
It's obviously quite close, the offside call, isn't it? Because it is taking a little while to clarify.
As we know, this new automated offside has been excellent.
Yeah.
Generally gives us quick results. And as you say, it must be tight. The assistant on the far side, his flag went up immediately, so his flag go up straight away. Ivan Toney was absolutely adamant immediately that he wasn't. The wonderful ball by Galeno. Great play, great technical ability to stay cool and calm and to pick his strike partner Ivan Toney out from such a short distance within the 18-yard box.
The referee still waiting for an official word. So it's not going to be a goal. And it remains 1-0. And Ivan Toney was offside.
He did look it. I mean, to the naked eye, the first instinct, he did look offside.
Just a touch.
The fourth officials had an interesting first half. Down below us again, Mateusz Jaisler once again over to the fourth official, speaking to him.
You didn't see the fourth.
Enzo Mio there, the player, just talking to the fourth official, being sent on his way back onto the pitch by his manager before he talked himself into trouble. Dams with the clearance. He's picking himself up and is now back on the pitch. And this is a bitty period.
It's becoming very bitty. Very stop-start. Challenges going in all over the field.
Dams ended up off the pitch as a result of the challenge on him on the touchline, and has come back onto the pitch and now gone down onto the ground.
Surrounded by nearly every member of the Al Ahly dugout. There's a lot of discussions going on. Mateusz Jaisler wandering over. The incident here is João Felix. That's where Jaisler takes one. Not watching, oh, it's a painful one, isn't it?
Correct. That almost knocked him halfway into next week. But Mohamed Simakan quick to head over to Al Ahly's coach and just check that he was okay. Meanwhile, Dams is still down. Here's the offside call on Ivan Toney.
We know it was close, we know it was tight, but once again there's a lovely ball from Galeno. Ivan Toney's looking at the two defenders in front of him. He's got to keep himself onside. It was a close one. It was a really good finish by Ivan Toney in the end. Simple task for him, but you would expect a goal scorer of his quality just to hold his run.
A Cristiano Ronaldo penalty separating the two sides. Not much in it at all, though, is there, in terms of the general play?
No, it's been a good game. It's been a good watch. Getting a little bit scrappy now. Incidents that the referee's going to have to take a hold of.
Mendy works it away, forward off the boot of Demiral into Mahrez. Not much time left for Al Ahly to get an equaliser before half-time, but of course all the while it's 1-0, still very much in the game. Here's Coman. Long old chase for João Felix. Galeno. Al-Burkan in the middle, the only one in white at the moment. Support arriving. Kessie lets it run. Mahrez. Madrashi. Al Nassr have had time to get set in behind the ball. Closing moments of the opening half of the Saudi Super Cup final from Hong Kong. Ibanez with the ball forward. Mio. Wide for Dams, he's kept it in. And done rather well. Into Kessie! Super finish! Beautifully crafted goal! What a week for the Ivorian! Franck Kessie, 2 goals in the semi-final and an equaliser on the stroke of half-time. Beautifully placed.
And no surprises that it's come from this left-hand side as well. And Galeno was involved initially in the build-up. He does that so well, Franck Kessie. He joins in the attack. He's given licence, he's given freedom when his team's in possession. That's how he got his 2 goals in midweek, and he's added to that collection tonight. It really is a cultured, excellent finish from Franck Kessie. Gets himself in a position, he doesn't rush, he doesn't snatch at the shot. They keep the ball in on this near side with Matteo Dams. And when the ball arrives at Kessie, look at the time and space he's got. No yellow shirts around him. Simakan eventually makes an effort to go and close the ball down. He doesn't rush it, he doesn't snatch it. It's a wonderful, cultured finish with the inside of his right foot. May have taken a slight deflection on the way, which took it out of Bento's reach. Great finish again from Franck Kessie.
And you can see just what it means to Matthias Jaisler and everyone in Al Ahly's squad. What a finish from Kessie for 1-1. And it was basically the last kick of the first half as the rain starts to fall on Hong Kong Stadium. All to play for in the Saudi Super Cup final. The crowd got what they wanted to see earlier in the half with Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a 41st minute penalty. His 100th goal for the club since his arrival 2.5 years ago. But in terms of the general play, not much in it, and Al Ahly equalising on the stroke of half-time with a finely crafted goal scored by Franck Kessie. Got a little bit scratchy towards the break, maybe 45 minutes to determine the destination of the silverware. What a bonus to start the new season with that for one of these two teams. Yaya with the throw. Ronaldo just clipped. And if we're level after 90 minutes, it'll go straight to penalty kicks. Wesley having quite the tussle with Merih Demiral. This is João Felix away from Enzo Mio. What a pass. Inch perfect into Kingsley Coman. Very timely intervention there made by Ibanez to get his head to the ball, with Felix in a great position to get on the end of it.
And completely unmarked, Felix, in the middle of the penalty area. Very good interception by Ibanez. Maybe not the right positioning, because he'd left João Felix completely unmarked.
Brozovic met by Demiral and collected by Madrashi. No changes, by the way, made by either side at half-time. Al-Burkan trying to get on the end of that one. But back with Al Nassr. And Wesley playing today in the absence of the suspended Sadio Mane. And his coach, Jorge Jesus, saying that the Senegalese player is going to have to take some responsibility for that, for what happened there. Certainly with his sending off, he said he felt his player could have done a bit better there. Wesley wins the corner.
Cost his team, didn't he? Especially so early on in the game. Going down to 10 men after 25 minutes for leaving your foot on the goalkeeper in the way that he did. And his face was a picture, wasn't it, Sadio Mane's, after the sending off. I mean, you can't really read people's emotions by their face. It was didn't seem overly worried that he'd been sent off, did he, at the time?
Yahya. They're going to have another one. Block made by the Belgian defender Dans, the former PSV Eindhoven player. Referee's not happy yet. The kick can't be taken. He's keeping his beady eye on everything. Galeno and Mohamed Simakan are chasing each other around inside the box. Good header away by Ivan Toney. Met by Felix. Kessie underneath it. Into Madrashi, intercepted by Wesley. Now Al Nassr on the front foot.
Chose the wrong option there, Wesley. I think the better ball was Cristiano Ronaldo on the outside of him.
Faras Al-Brackan will chase. Al Bouchal with a notable head start. He's ended up conceding a corner.
He's pleased, and rightly so, Mateusz Jaisler. With Al-Brackan seemingly chasing a lost cause. Didn't want to give it up. Persistence, hard work and energy. Manages to play the ball back of Al Bouchal.
Hervé Renard, the national team coach, here to keep an eye on some of the players, and Al-Brackan will be one of them. He appeared in all 4 games in the Gold Cup for Saudi Arabia this summer in the United States. Got a goal against Trinidad and Tobago in a 1-1 draw as well. Playing up in support alongside Ivan Toney up front for Al Ahly. 5th minute of the second half. Into that near post area and behind off Al Bouchal. Well, they haven't stopped all night. And their team are kicking towards that end of the ground as Al Nassr still have defending to do. Mahrez. Simakan with the header away. Kessie underneath it. João Felix looking keen. Put out manoeuvred there by Kessie, who concedes the free kick.
It's going to be important to them this season, Frank Kessie. His dynamism in midfield. He's got great ball retention, but his energy going forward as well. He can read the game so well, bursting into the opposition's box and breaking the lines from runs from deep.
And behind Yahya, and Ronaldo had his shirt pulled there by Demiral, yellow card.
It was a clear foul, wasn't it? Right under the referee's nose.
Just a bit. Wesley. Into Ronaldo, beautifully taken as he goes for goal. Brings the save from Mendy. It's Wesley, and it should be cleared. Madrashi, free kick.
Such a good strike by Ronaldo, you know.
Yeah.
His first touch is as impressive because the ball's really fired into him and he takes it down on his thigh. He realises his positional awareness is outstanding. It's a brilliant first touch, and he realises he's got half a yard of space. Such a difficult technique. Picks it up on the half volley. It's a difficult one for Edward Mendy, who ends up just beating the ball away. Fantastic technique and great strike from Ronaldo.
Simakan away from Al-Brackan. Brozovic has dropped a little deeper. Brozovic, who's been a predictably good signing for Al Nassr, the former Inter player, under pressure from Kessie, who falls dramatically, and unimpressed figure of Brozovic is nonetheless given a yellow card by the referee.
Set the bar now, the referee, hasn't he, for what he deems as a yellow card. He was got away. Frank Kessie got the wrong side of Brozovic. The referee set a marker of what he's willing to give a yellow card for, and we're seeing a lot of them in this game.
It's hot out there. Nothing they're not used to, of course, being players in the Saudi Pro League at this time of year in particular, but nonetheless there's a real humidity here. Well, certainly Al Ahly have got the ball pretty much where they want it for much of the early portion of the second half here. Mahrez just evading the leap of Roger Ibanez.
The assistant on this near side had his flag up to pour offside from a set play. Every time you run, they know the quality that Mahrez has got. They don't need to break early. Ibanez at the bottom there, and he's the one looking at all the way across the line. No excuses for being offside there whatsoever. Still an impressive leap, but to no avail.
Bento couldn't hang around there. Won by Demiral ahead of Ronaldo. That's Simakan. Al-Bashal getting the better of Galeno. I think he's happy enough to settle for the throw as well. Good interception there made by Ibanez. A little optimistic. Simakan and Bento doing enough.
Made the decision, the Brazilian goalkeeper, and once you made the decision you have to stick with it and be confident. Stuttered a little bit in his run-up, got there in the end. Ended up putting the ball out for a throw. Difficult for a goalkeeper. If you stop, start, and if you make a decision, you've got to go through that. You've got to commit, which is what he did in the end.
Galeno with a chance to advance. Al-Brikan. Kessie's in a bit of space. Galeno's flick. Al-Brikan. Ivan Toney waits in the middle. Block made by Martinez. This is good from Mio. Doesn't quite reach Kessie. Mahrez beaten, and Felix can't find a teammate. Ibanez switching it out wide. Al-Brikan, and Al-Bashal sends it sailing into the stands.
Having a good spell of possession at the moment, Al Ahly. Over to the right-hand side, attacking that Al Nassr goal. And they are having more joy when they get into those wide areas, get the ball out the middle of the pitch. Mayo, Galano. Put the ball in the wide areas, get into the box.
It's one of these long throws from the Brazilian Galeno coming up. He hasn't had to use a photographer's bib this time. The towels are there waiting. It was Kingsley Coman with the initial header. Launched by Nawaf Al-Bashal. Oh, look at that for control. Absolutely sensational. And collected by Kingsley Coman. Wesley's there in support in the middle. And also waiting, Roger Ibanez.
Good defending. Good defending from Ibanez. Let's talk about that touch first from Ronaldo. What a touch that was.
What's the technical term for that? Outrageous.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Edward Mendy in a spot of bother, and Kessie bails him out with Felix lurking. And now Al Nassr trying to get things moving to see if they can start to have a better spell here. Because certainly the first 10 or 11 minutes of the first half, it's Al Ahly who've had the better of it in terms of the general play. 1-1 the score. Ronaldo with a penalty in the 41st minute. Frank Kessie with an equaliser deep in added time at the end of the first half. Abdullah Al-Khaibari. Koeman's touch, looking for Brozovic. Simakan. Wesley looks ready to have a little run here at the defence. Still going Wesley. Challenged by Tony. Get on with it, says the referee from Saudi Arabia. Jean-Felix now. Some arrival from Chelsea. Brozovic. Challenged by Mio. Referee had a think and then blew the whistle. Free kick.
It's one of the more obvious ones that the referees had to deal with in the second half. Gets away without a yellow card, Mayo. It's going in from the wrong side of Brozovic. The ball's already gone. Clatters into the back of the Croatian. Opportunity earlier from Cristiano Ronaldo's touch and came to nothing because of the good positional sense. Ibanez.
Interception made by Galeno. Tracking back is Kingsley Coman there, backing up Nawaf Al-Bouchal. Al Ahly without a win over Al Nassr for 5 years now, since December of 2020. 7 meetings since then, they haven't won any of them. Al Nassr winning 5 of the last 7 with 2 draws, one of those draws last season. 3-2 win for Al Nassr on the road last February in the most recent meeting between the two. Very finely balanced in this final. I think we could have predicted that. Ronaldo hunting for a second goal. Ibanez sweeping it away, only as far as Martinez. This is Wesley now. The touch from Jean-Felix, not quite good enough to find Brozovic. Run for Al-Barakan and Galeno. Al-Barakan continues his run through the middle. Ali Madrashi is well up there as well on the near side. Good play from Galeno. Wants the corner and gets it.
Good defensive work from Al-Bouchal. This is the touch again that we get to watch. Look at that. Fantastic. Total focus, concentration.
Half an hour to go. Options being considered by Matthias Jaisler.
Looking at his bench, he's not really got that many attacking options on his bench. You know, get the game changes that you look. And the squad depth is something that they'll look at. Recruitment in the summer.
Riyad Mahrez is going to have to wait a little bit longer to take this corner. Roger Ibanez and Marcelo Brozovic just getting a little heated. In it comes. Mohamed Simakan's header away. Now the chance to break. Wesley considers the options. Didn't make a great choice.
That's the side of Galeno's game that I absolutely love. He's not afraid of defensive work as well. Gets himself back. At one point it looks like Wesley was away. They were breaking out the defence very quickly. Galeno's the first one, tracked back and makes the challenge.
And knew the foul was coming. And was happy to take that. Wesley's saying, come on, I didn't foul him there. Kessie floats the free kick. Madrashi. Rather mishit that delivery, Al-Khaibari. That's a good ball. Ronaldo. He'll continue his run. Kingsley Coman up against Matteo Dams. Can working hard to get back too. The bounce falling at the feet of Ronaldo. Kessie sends it on its way. Player down, requiring some treatment there, but a painful moment, I think, for Franck Kessie. May need a moment or two to compose himself there and catch his breath by the look of things.
Just holding his right groin. I think it was when he played that ball forward, the defensive work. Played the ball forward and then he went down out of vision away to our left-hand side. There was no one else around him, I don't think, at the time. So you hope for him.
Yeah, well, let's hope there's nothing.
Let's hope for him and Al Ahly that it's nothing more serious than a little tweak, because he is so influential. He's been excellent this pre-season, he really has. I think the way that he's dominated that midfield area. I mean, looking at their pre-season results, 1-1 draw at Alain, a 2-0 win at Elche, a 1-1 draw, very commendable 1-1 draw with Celtic. And Kessie's been a big part of that, and I think with Mateusz Geisley is certainly going to use him. And you build a team around him, and with Mayo coming in, they're going to be a very, very good midfield pairing, a defensive midfield pairing. And with Mayo there, the understanding that they get, it will allow Kessie to go forward, get forward, like we've seen tonight. He got his goal and his 2 goals midweek, and that's a part of his game that I really like, and I think he's going to be a really big player for Al Ahly this year.
Yeah, I won't want to take any risks if there's a bit of an issue there, this early stage of proceedings. Here's the Ronaldo miscue just moments ago there as he stretched to get to the ball, Franck Kessie, and then take it clear of Ronaldo to send the ball up the touchline. Just rather look as if he's okay to carry on for the time being, which is good news for fans of Al Ahly, and I think good news for this match that we're watching as well. He's such a key player within it. And back on the field. 25 minutes and still no nearer to discovering the destination of the Saudi Super Cup for 2025. New winners, of course, this year. No Al Hilal in the competition. What a dominant team they've been for the last couple of years. Before this one,
they showed that on the world stage as well, didn't they, in the Club World Cup? I thought they were an absolutely fantastic advert for the Saudi Pro League. Made a lot of people stand up and take notice about the quality of this league and the teams and the players that are in it. Yes, they missed out of this tournament, but I think their exertions at the World Cup, the Club World Cup, obviously player fatigue plays a part, and they were brilliant. I really enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, they began, of course, with that notable draw with Real Madrid, big win against Manchester City as well. Riyad Mahrez's old team. Madrashi's making a move down the near side. Yaya there first. Al Khaibari, free kick. The referee's not going to allow the game to continue quite yet.
No real rhythm to the second half, is there? I think both teams have had their own individual spells without really creating any huge chances. It's been very disjointed this second half. Coming together there. Al Khaibari takes one on the left shin. In turn, catches a stray arm, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, in the throat. Which stopped him in his tracks. Yet another stoppage to the game. Al Ahly certainly had the better of the opening 10 minutes or so, didn't they? And then Al Nassr have come back into it again during this second half with a little attacking flurry of their own.
It's ebbed and flowed, but both teams have looked better when they get the ball in the wide areas. We talk about the quality on the pitch in the wide areas, and that's when both teams have been at the most dangerous. The potent attacking forces are in the wide areas. It's very congested, and it does get very disjointed in the middle of the pitch when they get possession and they play into those wide areas. We've seen Kingsley Coman have an opportunity to get forward in the second half. Galeno will always get forward in that Al Ahly team, and that's where both teams' best chances have come.
Madrashi down for some considerable time here. He came into the team in the place of Abdul Rahman. Sadio Mane there in the middle in the white, just watching on. Suspended for this following his straight red card in the semi-final in the first half. Well, he's going to have to go off, I think, before he can come back on. And Inigo Martinez will get the match underway again shortly. Both players have to leave the field before the match can continue.
Interesting that we had no substitutions to this stage in the game. And just looking down beneath us at both dugouts, there's normally a hive of activity, but neither manager has any substitutes out warming up at the moment. It's almost like who's going to be the first one to flinch, isn't it?
Midway through the second half, Martinez. The touch from João Felix into Al-Khaibari. Beautiful feet, brilliant play from João Felix. Al Buchal's face almost kept that attacking passage of play moving.
No, it was just superb from the young Portuguese, wasn't it? Absolutely superb, great footwork, very difficult technique. The ball's almost stuck to his foot. I think that's where he really excelled this season, in that number 10 role, the freedom to play like that.
It was just not enough weight on that pass, was there, to get it there quickly enough before the interception.
The final ball was poor. This is what he brings, this is what he's got. He's got so much ability, so much talent, and his talent's best employed in the final third of the field. Don't give him a wide role, don't give him a defensive responsibility. Let him play. And alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, you'll see him doing that a lot this season. He'll have freedom.
Terrific skill there from João Felix. Only his second competitive match for his new club after moving from the Premier League in England. Of course, Chelsea had loaned him out to Milan in Italy for the second half of last season, in the early months of the year.
I said to you, I wish I had his agent when I played. Some of the clubs that young man's played for.
It's quite a collection, isn't it? Could open up here. Riyad Mahrez up against Simakan. Still with Mahrez, and still Simakan wins the duel. Back up from Ivan Toney. Ball played in. Here's a chance off the post. Albrecht couldn't finish it off. What a lucky let-off for Al Nassr, who tried to turn the tables and take it right back to the other end of the field with Wesley. The ball's a decent one, is it? No, just a little too close to Edouard Mendy.
What an action-packed passage of play that was. I'm not quite sure how it's still all level this game. Albrecht looked to have a wonderful opportunity.
What a golden chance that was to make it 2-1. Down goes Ivan Toney in the tussle with Inigo Martinez. Play on. Well, it looked for all the world as if Al Ahly were going to score there.
It was Riyad Mahrez who broke through initially, but the defending from Simakan was excellent. He knew that Riyad Mahrez wanted to get on his left foot. Simakan just kept showing him down the right, down the right, down the right, made the challenge in the end, and it looked like he'd seen the danger away, but actually the ball found its way back into the box to Albrecht. And when we see the replay, we may be able to shed more light on how he actually missed from such close range.
Brozovic. Now Wesley. Inside the last 20 minutes of the game. Simakan seemed to misjudge the run of the ball there and was rather lucky to find it at his feet in the end.
It's about concentration. There's a lot of tired players out there. There's a lot of tired legs and minds. Fatigue will set in, as we spoke about the incredible heat and humidity here in Hong Kong. Yes, a lot of these players are used to it, but still, it's sapping, it's tiring. Concentration and focus just as much as anything else.
Little touch by Wesley in towards Kessie, who's been penalised. the challenge on João Felix. Here it is
again. Yeah, that's a great piece of defending by Simakan. Finds its way back into the box. Does everything right, doesn't he, apart from apply the finish. It's a superb first touch, keeps the ball close to him, gets it around the goalkeeper. We've got to give the goalkeeper credit. He came out, he made himself big, and he narrowed the angle down, maybe put Albrakan off.
It was Ivan Toney as well out wide who sent the ball in. Still all level at 1-1. Foul on Coman by Matteo Dams.
Going to learn quickly, these players, aren't they? Every shirt pull's resulted in a yellow card.
Marcelo Brozovic will take the free kick, confirmation of the yellow card. Simakan in possession. Second season for him, the former RB Leipzig player. Here's Kingsley Coman. Big name arrival, Coman, serial winner during his career with Bayern Munich in particular. Scorer of the winning goal in a Champions League final, no less.
Again, another example of a big money signing and attracted to the league at a good age as well. 29 years old, the experience that he's got. PSG, Juve, Bayern Munich. More strength, more quality. A great addition for Al Nassr, and more so, he gives them balance.
Al Bouchal tracking back here against Galeno. What a handful he is. Delightful play from Galeno. Looking to tee things up. Mio took a bit too long and he's been caught out by Nawaf Al Bouchal. Ronaldo a willing runner, and Mendy kept on his toes there by Demirel's ball back towards him. Ibanez. Al Nassr will have a throw.
Maybe just starting to open up. See maybe little gaps, lapses in concentration.
Sultan Al-Ghanam is going to come on for Al Nassr shortly. As Jorge Jesus prepares to make a change, the players will come across with 15 minutes to go for the cooling break. One in each half, given the climactic conditions. Here's the penalty for 1-0.
Never in doubt, was it? I mean, it's a great technique when you look at the technique he's employed. He knows exactly what he's doing, that he's made his mind up as soon as he's put the ball on the spot, waits for the goalkeeper and he just lifts it. And what he does is he lifts it very cleverly, because if the goalkeeper leaves a trailing leg, he saves that in the middle of the goal. But actually, he lifts it that cleverly, it would have gone over him. This is the finish from Frank Kessie. May have just taken a nick off Simakan on the way through.
Terrific strike though, wasn't it?
He's in great goal scoring form. He's a player to watch this season. He keeps himself fit. He's looked fit in this pre-season, I say. He's looked fit, he's looked strong. He's got a great engine. He'll be a huge asset to Al Ahly this season. He's certainly a player to watch for me in the new season ahead.
Do you sense one side maybe getting a little advantage over the other in terms of the general play, or are we still watching an arm wrestle between these two?
I think they're both. We're watching two teams now who are not wanting to lose this game. I think you see that quite often. Obviously, big games, cup finals, trophies at stake. You get to a point in a game where you will see teams that are set up not to lose a game rather than be open and expansive to win a game. They don't want to go and try and win the game at the expense of leaving gaps, leaving holes and losing goals at the other end. And that's the message that Jorge Jesus will be saying to them. Defensively, we keep it tight, we stay strong, we stay solid as a unit, but also when we break out of that system, we use the wide plays in the wide areas and have an attacking threat.
You see, he knows what he wants, and the Saudi translator there, he's working overtime in that group, relaying the message from Jorge Jesus. Saad Balabaid is coming on for Al Ahly. Sultan Al-Ghanam is on for Al Nassr to replace Wesley. So Balabaid is on for Matteo Dam, so straight swap there. So finally, a couple of substitutes.
Just interested to see here what shape Al Nassr are going to take up with Al Ghanam coming on. He's gone straight to his natural position of right back. And Al Bushal's come over here to this near side to the left back position where he's more familiar.
Well, and Yaya will go up the wing, won't he?
He's been the one that's allowed to play higher up the pitch. So they've got Al Ghanam as right back, Al Bushal moved over to left back, and Yaya playing the attacking wide left role.
Well, we shouldn't forget, of course, Simon Yaya is naturally an attacking player, isn't he, Paul?
Yeah, he's been doing a job for George Jesus as a fullback, as a makeshift fullback, but I think he likes his quality that he's got going forward. Also he's defensively able as well, what he brings in that position in an attacking sense. I think the new manager's liked.
Roger Ibanez won the duel, and Koeman took a whack in the process. He's just taking a moment to gather himself. Let's have a look at it once again. I think there's a nosebleed. Yeah, which is why the referee will need that to be tidied up. That's what the suggestion was from the match. Yeah, from the officials. There's blood, so of course that needs to be dealt with before the resumption, but he looks fine, so that's good news. So hopefully in a minute or so we'll be able to get on with the match once more. Month into the new job, 1-year contract on the back of great success with Al Hilal. That was the most recent chapter of a long and pretty storied managerial career for the 71-year-old. It's the third head coach that Al Nassr have had within the last year. Luis Castro only left the job last September. Stefano Pioli came in to replace him for the rest of the season.
I like it. I really like the appointment of George Jesus. Maybe got a point to prove with the way that he left Al Hilal. And I think going into Al Nassr, he's the type of manager that will get them organised. Listen, you look at the players that they've got at Al Nassr, the players that they've brought in, the recruitment, and how they've underachieved, but how they haven't been able to achieve domestic silverware in the last couple of seasons. I just think it's a really good fit. Stefano Pioli, obviously relieved of his duties. He's now managing Fiorentina in Italy.
Yeah.
But I just think that George Jesus and Al Nassr could well be a very good fit.
I think whatever happens, Kingsley Coman, they need to stem the flow of the blood, and with blood on the shirt, he'll need a new top before he can continue in the match. So for the time being, at least, Al Nassr will be down to 10 when he finally does make it to the touchline on the near side. 10 more minutes plus added time. I think we'll have a reasonable chunk of that. But penalties are beginning to come into the equation, possibly.
I don't think there's many people in the crowd that would be adverse to seeing a penalty shootout here this evening. It'll be a wonderful end to a wonderful week and a wonderful tournament. There's two managers here that had their say during the drinks breaks, the cooling break. We're starting to see them shuffle their pack now. Changes are afoot once again.
Mahrez trying to feed it through in towards Tony. Koeman back on the field of play. The header clear from Al Ghanam. Al-Brakan, and Ivan Toney just blocked off by the experienced Martinez.
Good goalkeeper, good defender. Very good defender. Didn't do anything wrong, Martinez. Stood his ground, blocked the run of Ivan Toney. Wanted the goalkeeper to be quick and sharp off his line. Martinez there, gets the goal side. That's the key, gets goal side of Ivan Toney, blocks the run.
Here's Koeman. New shirt and straight back into the action. Brozovic into Ronaldo. Referee waves the game on as Madrashi wins the ball. Angelo's preparing to come on for Al Nassr. Here's Brozovic. Here's a chance and a goal. Marcelo Brozovic. An unexpected goal-scoring opportunity grabbed by the Croatian. And suddenly Al Nassr a minute away from early season glory.
It's a wonderful finish. Al-Ahly, they don't clear the lines. It's Franck Kessie who gets caught with the ball. It's a player of experience, great experience, and you don't expect him to lose possession there, Kessie. He has to clear his lines. He can't put the ball at risk. But you give Brozovic credit. He's aware, he's alert, he pounces on the mistake. Buys himself a slight bit of time, half a yard. And once again, it's a lovely finish from Brozovic. Inside of his foot into the far side netting. Mistake by Kessie. They've got to clear the lines there, Al-Ahly. The masters of their own downfall. Brilliant finish.
Well, not known for his goal-scoring prowess, Marcelo Brozovic. He scored twice in the Saudi Pro League in the whole of last season, but he's just scored a very big goal indeed to put his team 2-1 up here with just minutes to play. But what a mess defensively that was from Al-Ahly's point of view.
Really disappointing from their point of view. Mateusz Jaisler set this team up, and they have been a lot better defensively. See the partnership of Demiral and Ibanez. Said so much about Franck Kessie, wax lyrical about how good he is and what a player he's going to be for them this season. But it looks like he's just given Brozovic the gift before the season starts.
Cleared away by Mohamed Simakan. Madrashi's underneath it. Up with Ayman Yaya. Both players down. Ronaldo on the deck as well. Another stoppage. Madrashi quick to his feet. Angelo still waits to come on for Al Nassr. Let's have a look at this one again. Clash of heads there between Ayman Yaya and Ali Madrashi. Martinez quickly in there to give his thoughts to the referee.
Look at George Jesus again. He doesn't waste any time, any opportunity he gets to speak to his players.
He's actually on the pitch at the moment, chatting to them.
Which he shouldn't be when there's a stoppage in play.
Actually, I misspoke there, Paul. I said he's chatting to them. He's not. He's actually telling them what to do, isn't he?
It's very authoritative. Ronaldo, Brozovic, Felix, they've just had their last orders.
So Ayman Yaya is going to come off. He's already off. Well, his left leg is still on the pitch, but the rest of him's off the field. And Angelo is on for him as well. He came off the bench late in the semi-final. He's another 20-year-old Brazilian, just like Wesley, and a player they signed from Chelsea at the start of last September. Played quite a bit, actually, in his first season. Well, Al Nassr have got the opportunity here to land a first bit of domestic silverware for a little while.
The clock would suggest they're very close, but actually the stoppages that we've had in this game, I think we're going to see a really big chunk of added time.
Super Cup winners in 2019 and 2020. Potentially minutes away from silverware success once again. Here's the goal that separates the two teams, and from Al-Ahly's point of view, what a mess it was.
Defensively really poor. No excuses there, Franck Kessie. Experienced player, experienced international player, AC Milan, Barcelona, who will know you can't put the ball at risk in those situations. Brozovic capitalised in a big way.
Galeno beaten to the ball on this occasion, but he will have a throw-in, and he will be the very man to take it once the ball has been towelled down by the Brazilian. Clock's ticking a bit here for Al-Ahly. Have won the Super Cup once before. It was 9 years ago. It was the last time they were champions of Saudi Arabia back in 2016. Had a little dip into the first division a couple of years ago. Really strong header away by Simakan. Third season back in the top flight for Al-Ahly. Another long one, little flick on, Mahrez collects, not much room for manoeuvre. Ibanez. Corner. Al-Ghanam there.
Trying to get some momentum, trying to get the message onto the pitch. Keep the ball, keep recycling it, stay in that final third. They're not going to make any apologies for the way that they're going to play. They're going to be direct. They're going to try and put the ball in the box.
The delivery needs to be a good one. Bento hasn't got it. It's in for the equaliser. Roger Ibanez there from close range. And we are all square once more. Equalising late in the first half. Al Ahly do exactly the same late in the second. Two-two in the Super Cup.
It's all about the delivery from Riyad Mahrez. That wonderful left foot from the corner on the far side, an out-swinging corner. It's a perfect delivery. Ibanez gets himself free. The goalkeeper comes, and when he comes that far, he's got to make contact. He makes a real mess, Bento. He flaps at the ball. Ibanez, to his credit, he keeps his concentration, keeps his eyes fixed on the ball, heads it home into an empty net, and we're heading for penalties.
Wow, what a twist to proceedings here. But as you say, Bento was really committed there, but he didn't really get anywhere near it.
He's had a poor tournament, in all honesty, Bento. He had an excellent season last season, kept 9 clean sheets. Maybe would have wanted more, but his decision-making, he's particularly, he play with his feet that time. You come a long way from goal, and when you come that far, you've got to get some kind of connection on the ball. But to Ibanez's credit, like I said, he could have been easily put off by the goalkeeper in front of him. Eyes fixated on the ball. Gets his team back in it.
Is there another twist to this Super Cup tale before penalties arrive?
I think there's certainly going to be time, isn't there?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much added time we
get. No surprises when that board comes up for added time. I think we're getting a good chunk of it.
Well, you just knew that in the end someone was going to foul Riyad Mahrez there, didn't you? Just a matter of time. Great delivery. A minimum of 5 added minutes.
Surprised, I thought there'd be more. We had 10 in the week, didn't we, in one of the semi-finals. Second half's been very disjointed, very stop-start.
Edouard Mendy there, just a little kiss on the ball before he sends it on its way. With his best wishes to find a friendly target who can put it in the back of the net. Mio. Now Balabay looking for Galeno. That's spun nicely in towards Albricam there off the boot of Tony. Saad Balabay, the substitute. Mio. Galeno, Balabay. Al Ahly asking questions here. Mahrez! Chance.
Oh, it's a real chance. It's a real chance for Riyad Mahrez, and he knows it. On his left foot, he immediately looks down at the pitch. They get him behind again far too easily. Misses everybody. Al Bouchal, the far post, may have just put off Riyad Mahrez.
Collected by João Felix. Halted by Meret Demiral. Still with Al Nassr. Ronaldo unable to slide it through, but Al Bouchal's got it, and Jorge Jesus almost on the pitch. Here comes Angelo. Good play into João Felix. They need something good pretty quickly here. But Mio is an excellent signing for Al Ahly, and Mahrez is twinkle-toed, and now Al Bouchal hauls him to the floor with a very agricultural challenge that has to receive a yellow card.
That's an awful challenge.
It was really poor from Al
You're not going to see a more blatant shirt pull. This stadium hosts the rugby sevens, doesn't it? A challenge like that certainly wouldn't be out of place in one of those games. Look at that. You can't do that.
That was almost worth a yellow card and a half. Two-two, added time, of which we will have another couple of minutes.
And they're going to go long here. They're going to chase the game. They've got an opportunity to put the ball forward into the box. It's the goalkeeper who's going to take the free kick long.
They're having a good spell, finishing the game strongly. Great work by Al Burakan, keeping it alive. Balabay. Not the sort of delivery that was required. Away it goes. Into the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. Angelo near side. Coman far side. White shirts flooding back. Great challenge by Galeno.
Great athleticism. Really works hard up and down that left touchline, Galeno. Very, very good defending. But has he given Al Nassr one last opportunity to put the ball in the box?
Well, they'll all be feeling nervous, those fans, but they've had their money's worth from this match. Is there more late drama to come, or will we go to the guaranteed drama of penalties? Al Nassr with what could be a last chance in play to get on the end of it. Simakan. And they'll have another corner. This time off ahead of Ivan Toney. It's all hands on deck here for Al Ahly. Twice behind in the game, Al Ahly, twice coming back. And it comes off the boot of Brozovic. Well won by Ibanez. Simakan goes down. Ibanez tells him what he thinks of it. But Angelo bursting forward once more into the side netting. Ibanez has gone back for some more there to give Simakan another piece of his mind as well. He seems quite incensed.
Looked at first glance to be a brilliant defensive header from Ibanez. Rose high above Simakan. Clearly got to the ball first. The Al Nassr players say it was illegally. Wonderful defensive header. That's what you want from your centre-backs at this stage of the game. Simakan maybe going down looking for something that wasn't there. Fantastic piece of defending from Ibanez after he just got his team the most unlikeliest of equalisers.
Ball back with Edward Mendy. Oh, we're 5.5 minutes into additional time here. The sheet for penalty kicks here is ready to go in the commentary box.
The referee's ready to blow his whistle. This annoys me as a goalkeeper. Why wait till I
There goes the final whistle. It goes to penalty kicks. After an absorbing, keenly contested encounter, the disappointment clearly visible there on the thoughtful face of Cristiano Ronaldo, because he's had a few near misses in terms of trophies with Al Nassr during his time, and twice his team were ahead today. First when he scored from the penalty spot late in the first half, and then in the second period as well with the goal just in the 83rd minute from Marcelo Brozovic. But again, they just couldn't close it out. They couldn't get it done. Kessie with the equaliser deep in added time at the end of the first half. Ibanez in the 89th minute. Full time, Al Nassr 2. Bento's ready. Ivan Toney looking to set the tone for this shootout. Leading from the front for Al Ahly. First spot kick in the Super Cup final. Usual outcome, Ivan Toney scores. He does not miss from 12 yards.
Making the big build-up before he took his penalty. Once again, he doesn't let you down. That time the goalkeeper guesses the right way. He doesn't wait for the goalkeeper.
Tell you what, Paul, the big guns are coming out early for this penalty shootout. Cristiano Ronaldo for Al Nassr to make it 1-1. Camera phones out all around the stadium. It is quite a sight here, quite a moment. And Ronaldo drills it home for 1-1. 2 out of 2 on the night for him. It's 1-1 in the shootout.
Shows his quality, his versatility, a completely different technique to the one that he used during the 90 minutes. One in 90 minutes, waiting for the goalkeeper to go, lifting it down the middle. That time, no chances taken. Hard, low, away from Edouard Mendy. When I played against him in the World Cup in 2006, that was his safety penalty. But he knew that I knew. I dove into that corner, he stuck it high to my left.
Franck Kessie now, who's played such a key role for Al Ahly, but who was dispossessed on the edge of the penalty area for Al Nassr's second goal tonight. Kessie scores. Lovely, cool, nonchalant finish. Another top penalty from an experienced player.
Tournament's leading scorer. 4 goals for him. Really well taken penalty. Very cool, very calm. Waits for the goalkeeper to move.
Marcelo Brozovic will be next. It was Brozovic who scored in the 83rd minute, and you did wonder whether that might be the winning goal at that time. He's still got a part to play, and it's coming up right now for 2-2. Chance taken. Perfectly placed, and it needed to be.
High quality. I've been treated to some high quality penalty technicians. Any penalty that hits the back of the net is a good penalty, but these are actually very well taken penalties. Goalkeeper's not much chance thus far.
It's going to be Riyad Mahrez next for Al Ahly. Mahrez, who had a chance very late in the game to make it 3-2. Referee querying where the ball has been placed at the moment. Mahrez for 3-2. No chance for Bento.
You don't save those, even if you do go the right way. What a brilliant penalty by Riyad Mahrez. That's in a part of the goal that is unsavable for a goalkeeper from 12 yards.
Absolutely nothing Edouard Mendy could do about that. As he greets, in inverted commas, Jean-Felix at the penalty spot. So Jean-Felix, who scored the winning goal in the semi-final to set up this game. It's 3-2. 5 out of 5 have found the back of the net so far. Make that 6 out of 6. Again, no chance for Edouard Mendy.
6 penalties of the highest quality. That, again, very similar to Riyad Mahrez. High, wide, and away from the goalkeeper. Great penalty.
Firas Al-Brekan is the latest player making that long walk from the halfway line. Must be the longest walk in football.
Had a really good opportunity during the 90 minutes, didn't he, when he hit the post from close range.
So 3-3 on penalties. Fourth one coming up for Al Ahly. And Al-Brekan gets it home, despite the best efforts of Bento, who so very nearly kept it out.
All his Al Nassr teammates stood on the halfway line. They thought he'd kept it out. They all broke the line and started to celebrate. Guess right, the goalkeeper just couldn't get a big enough surface on the ball.
So Abdullah Al-Khaibari to take this latest one to make it 4-4. What a sequence of penalties we've seen up to now. This to level it up. And it's saved by Mendy. It's the first penalty missed, and it's the 8th one taken. 4-3, Al Ahly, advantage to them.
I was never convinced with the run-up. I don't like those slow, stuttery run-ups. It was a poor penalty. It was far too close to the goalkeeper. Good save from Edward Mendy.
Big moment for Galeno here now then, Paul.
He's been excellent, hasn't he? In both games.
This to win it. It'll be 5 out of 5. Al Nassr having scored 3 from 4. Galeno, who scored one of the goals when they won the Asian Champions League final earlier in the year. With the chance to deny Al Nassr. Bento crouched like a cat, ready to try and pounce on it. Galeno goes for glory and seals the deal. Al Ahly, for the second time in their history, win the Saudi Super Cup. It took penalties to get it done, but they won't be worried about that now. They have won in the most dramatic fashion, and they have won with 5 brilliant penalties. And yet again, Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr are denied right at the last with silverware on the line. His search for domestic Saudi silverware continues. But what a series of penalties we've just seen, Paul Robinson.
A lot of quality penalties taken there, and you can see the joy, delight and jubilation for those in green and white away to our right, and you can see just what it means to him and that Al Nassr side. Changes afoot at Al Nassr, new manager, new formation, new way of playing. Had an outstanding tournament, but still they fail at the final hurdle.
And it was Abdullah Al-Khaibari, the only player to miss, that left the door ajar, and Galeno with the chance to win it. Twice Al Ahly came back from behind in the 90 minutes. That late equaliser from Roger Ibanez, making it 2-2 in regulation time. And then Al Ahly going on to win on penalty kicks.